I am a baby, speaking not just for myself, but for the millions whose voices were silenced, whose homes are dust, whose graves are unmarked. I speak for Africa. In the Horn of Africa, Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, Kenya, South Sudan, name it. There is a fire that was lit not by the people, but by the backdoor deals, sabotage, and lies. We are told these are ethnic wars, but beneath the headlines, what do we find? Foreign hands carving us up like meat. Gulf states, Turkey, China, Western proxies, playing us like pawns on a desert chessboard. In Sudan, armed factions tear the nations apart. In Ethiopia, millions displaced, their killers shielded by state silence and drones. In Walaga, Amharas buried in mass graves, not in history books, but in bulldozed silence. Sponsored hate, manufactured chaos. And Eritrea? It didn't just separate, it was separated. Just like Djibouti, just like South Sudan. Fragmentation is the name of the game, brothers and sisters. Divide and then exploit. It's not liberation, it's extraction. I tell you this, access to the sea for Ethiopians isn't a luxury. It's a lifeblood. You see, they are fighting among each other, but when it comes to the sea, it is a lifeblood. Everybody agrees. Yet Ethiopia was served from its coast by old colonial wounds and fresh betrayals in suits and uniforms. They call it investment. We call it land grab. From Addis Ababa to Afar, people are being pushed out, not for peace, but for corridor control. No one knows who funds it. No one dares to ask. Pandemics erupt like test tubes, gone wild. HIV, Ebola, monkeypox, COVID, name it. They say it is science. But we know Africa is the lab and the target. Our seeds replaced, our crops modified, our forests gone. Even our children's identities stolen in the name of gender politics, aid conditions, and forced liberalism. And the elites, they do not just betray us. They flee into Europe, into America, living in luxury, preaching hate from safe rooftops. When you pick up arms, you are called a terrorist. When you bow your head, you are called weak. This is a trap. So what do? We resist, but with clarity, not hate, not revenge, but with truth. Here at African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace, we search for the buried truth. We open dialogue even if our voice shake. We demand justice. We demand justice because without justice, there is no truth. And without truth, there is no peace. We are not against the world. We are for the people. Africa doesn't need more flags. It needs healing. It needs unity without lies. We need to expose every sacred corridor deal. Challenge every elite who profits while we bleed. Defend our land, our culture, our families before it's too late. This is a message not of despair, brothers and sisters, but of awakening. To the youth, your ancestors did not survive colonization just for you to scroll silently. To the diaspora, your safety is not an excuse for silence. To the leaders, redemption begins with confession. We rise together or we fall divided. This is African Hearts for Peace. This is truth in the face of betrayal. And this message will never be silenced. And thank you very much. Apologies. Now we continue with our final words. The time to stand is now. Africa is not a commodity. It is not empty. It is not helpless. We are alive, alert, rising. To those who kill and flee, to those who lie, then smile in foreign comfort, to those who trade peace to profit, we say your time is ending. Let justice awaken. Let peace become sacred. Let the truth be unstoppable. We at African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace carry no weapon but the truth, no mission but justice, and no identity but Africa's future. Here is Africa, the Horn of Africa, truth, turmoil, and the quest for peace. Resistance and pathways forward from African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace. At African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace, AHP, we do not subscribe to illusions. We are not seduced by the fantasy of foreign aid-driven liberation, nor do we believe that internal fragmentation will bring any semblance of sustainable peace. Our position is rooted in the pursuit of truth, justice, and unity. No matter how uncomfortable, complex, or politically incorrect that truth may be, from this foundation, we advance our resistance and articulate solutions as follows. Number 1, rejecting fragmentation as a foreign tool of exploitation. What does it mean? Fragmentation serves foreign interests. From Eritrea secession, engineered and backed by Egypt and the Gulf, to South Sudan's heartbreaking descent into tribal conflict, most independence, the pattern is undeniable. Fragmentation leads not to prosperity, but to more gates for external manipulation and theft of sovereign resources. We at the African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace call for a complete re-evaluation of Article 39 in Ethiopia and any constitutional mechanisms that legitimize secessionism. Unity does not mean uniformity. It means survival. Number 2, demanding transparency in all government deals and backdoor diplomacy. No more opaque negotiations. No more secret deals brokered in Dubai, Doha, or Ankara that hand over millions of hectares of land, ports, or mineral rights to unelected of foreign powers. Every economic deal made on African soil must be public, debated, and approved by elected representatives or directly by citizens' assemblies. If a prime minister cannot explain where weapons or infrastructure funds are coming from, he must step down. You can call yourself president or a king. You're not immune to this. Number 3, establishing a Pan-African People's Tribunal for Justice. Truth and justice must precede reconciliation. Perpetrators of mass atrocities, whether in Walaga, Tigray, Darfur, or Somalia, must be exposed and held accountable. We call for the establishment of a Pan-African People's Tribunal, independent of the African Union and the United Nations, to try crimes against humanity committed by African elites and their foreign companions. The tribunal will include citizens-led investigations, victim testimonials, and historical truth commission. Number 4, developing a sovereign tech infrastructure and AI oversight. Brothers and sisters, don't make a mistake. Artificial intelligence is here, not for tomorrow. It depends on how you use it. It has a double-edged sword. The enemy is using the sharp edge to cut us. We can use it for good. Foreign powers use AI to track, manipulate, and control African populations through surveillance, misinformation, and resource mapping. We believe AI should only be used for good. African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace will collaborate with ethical AI developers to create localized open source technology for good governance, education, and food security. No foreign surveillance contracts, no exploitation of data. 5. Rebuilding indigenous identity and morality in youth. What do we mean? Our young people are being culturally erased. Morality and tradition are being destroyed by toxic imported ideologies that seek to dissolve the family, religion, and cultural dignity. We advocate for a complete revival of African moral philosophy, indigenous languages, and communal traditions. Apologies, I have a cough. Backed by education that centers not just literacy but dignity. And number 6, food sovereignty and seed independence. What do we mean here? The war on indigenous crops is a war on the future. African farmers are being trapped into corporate seed contracts and chemically dependent systems that destroy soil and community. We will establish community seed banks, revive traditional farming systems, and support premature and agroecologically as a resistance against agribusiness imperialism. Economic self-sufficiency and inter-African trade. What do we mean? Instead of depending on foreign aid or importing expired medicine and fake vaccines, we must invest in Africa. African manufacturing, energy, health systems, and internal trade corridors. Countries like Ethiopia and Egypt must work together to resolve Nile issues with mutual respect, not through Western manipulation. Djibouti, Kenya, Eritrea, Somalia, these states must trade with one another, build collective markets, and stop selling their ports, lands, and airspace, choking Africans. Number 8, resistance through enlightenment, not armed conflict. What do we mean again? Although we do not morally condemn those who fight for survival with arms, we do warn violence without moral clarity becomes a new cycle of terror. A liberator can become an oppressor overnight. The weapon should be the truth. The march should be for justice. The cause must remain people-centered. This is Abebe Nagash. Let me give you my personal convictions here. As a founder of African Hearts for Peace and Ethiopian Hearts for Peace, I, Abebe, do not speak from detachment. I speak as one who has seen, suffered, and committed to truth. I believe that unity must come through dignity, not force. That justice is the highest form of peace. That Africa must control its destiny, economy, language, land, and technology. That elites and foreign collaborators who betray the people must be removed, exposed, and remembered in famine. That dialogue begins only after truth is known. That AI, media, and new technology should liberate, not enslave us. The path forward is difficult, brothers and sisters, but if we walk it with clear eyes and clear hands, If we look beyond tribe and beyond borders to see the African in each other, we will not be defeated. That's my conviction. That's my message. And I thank you very much. Thanks again. Bye-bye.